Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going over some of the older changelogs from about a week ago because, well, I've been busy doing other things, as you've seen. And there was a few interesting changes to the game to definitely go over. There's also recently been, over the last day or so, quite a lot of data mines, so I'll make a video later looking at those when I have a bit more time. I'd also like to point you towards an event which is happening on the weekend. On Saturday, Wingling Dragon, who is a Twitch streamer for War Thunder, he's actually doing a simulator event where basically you can fly in the JU-188, the A1 or the A4, and pretty much it's going to be very similar to one which I actually took part in when it came to the last week. On Saturday, we flew around PBM-1 Mariners in a really fun user mission, and also at the same time just kind of wandered about and destroyed some Japanese ships, with also the Japanese trying to attack us. It was a lot of fun. It was a few good hours of entertainment. If you are interested in taking part in these events, I'm going to be present, or trying to be present at all of them. I will be present on the one which is happening on the 15th of January at 1 p.m. PST. I'll leave a link to his Discord in a pinned comment, so if you're interested in custom battles, if you're interested in simulator stuff, make sure to go along. I will be live streaming it. I think he'll be live streaming it with some other people as well, so make sure to check it out. Anyway, let's get into the changelogs. The first changelog was for 2.13.0.48, and this was actually on the 27th of December, which shows how behind I am when it comes to these things. But it was quite a small one. Basically, the notch sector has been increased for semi-active radar seekers of the AIM-7, the R-23R, and also the R-24R, so they should be slightly more effective. Also, visibility issues with some icons have been resolved, which is pretty cool, so it should be easier to see them. Radars will no longer acquire terrain instead of failed target acquisition at low altitude. That is actually one of the things that happened quite a lot, where you would kind of pseudo lock onto a target through terrain, but it would just lose lock instantly. It looks like it won't do that anymore. That's pretty cool because that's been in the game for a long time. And then they've also smoothed the indication of ground clutter on a radar scope. So they've done a lot of work towards radar at the moment, and I mean that makes sense. Radar is going to be one of those systems which is pretty key when it comes to the future of War Thunder, which is why over the last 1 or 2 years we've seen a massive improvement in how it works, not just in ground forces but also in air forces. So hopefully it continues to do so, and hopefully we continue to get the new systems around it. On the 29th of December, we had 2.13.0.53, and this was a huge change. They added a bunch of different things for each of the different areas of the game. Basically, this was the last big update before the Russian Christmas, so basically they changed a bunch of stuff. So all ground vehicles with rangefinders now feature long distances for arcade ballistic computers, the color cross. The max distance depends on the type, so it's up to 1.5 kilometers for the regular rangefinder, up to 4 kilometers for the stereoscopic rangefinder, and also up to 10 kilometers for the laser rangefinder. So that's pretty cool. It basically means that it should be easier to aim with those now. The E100, the material of the side skirts has been changed to cast armor, so that probably won't change it too much. The Vickers Mark 1, the depletion order for the ammo rack has been changed, so hopefully it makes a little bit more sense in that vehicle. Still waiting to play the Mark 3 actually. I unlocked it and just haven't played it, so it's another one of those vehicles which just kind of didn't get done because of other stuff getting in the way. The ZTZ-96A, the durability values of the ERA protection on the turret's front in X-ray mode have been fixed, so that's really nice. The T-72B3, the name of the AA machine gun has been corrected to the 6P49. I'm guessing it'll have the same effectiveness though. The M60A2, the fire control, has been added to the commander's sight, which is pretty awesome. Means that you can use it from either or. The XM975, which is of course it's the Roland launcher for the Americans. The vertical aiming angles of the launcher have been fixed, so I'm guessing they weren't up to par, and now they are. The Type 10, a bug has been fixed that prevented damage to the crew in an event of an ammo stowage fire, with damaged bulkhead between ammo and the crew. So basically the crew wouldn't die if the ammo got exploded, but now that seems to have been fixed. That's quite a serious bug on that machine. I haven't heard too much about the Type 10 since its release. I would like some opinions on it, how it's doing, how it's feeling, just because I haven't played it yet. I will play it eventually, just not right now. The Leo 2PL, the bug has been fixed that allowed the gun to pass through the track shoulder. Obviously quite a unfortunate one. There's been a few of those in the history of War Thunder. Not many that are long-standing, though, when it comes to general, guns getting stuck on parts of the vehicles. The ZSU-37-2, the camera position bug has been fixed. That caused the vehicle to disappear in certain observation angles, so that's really good. The AMX-30 1972, the B2, the Brennus, the 32, and the 40, the display of the horizontal traverse speed of the coaxial 20mm has been fixed. I mean, that's fair. That thing is super fast, by the way, and one of the great things about the 20mm is not just the fact that it's really good against light vehicles and also knocking barrels and stuff. It is fantastic against stuff like aggressive helicopters because it has an insanely good vertical angle on it. The T55AM, the position of the radiation emitter of the IR spotlight has been fixed. Obviously that won't get used too much, but that's nice to see. The Calliope, the sight magnification, has been fixed from ×3 to standard, so it goes from 1.9 to 3.5. The TOW2B, a bug has been fixed that prevents damage from the charge core when the ATGM hits sloped parts. Okay, so that is a really bad bug. That basically would mean that missile was ineffective against certain parts of vehicles. Thank God that has been fixed, actually. That's a really, really rough one. The KUL SGR M90 round, the tracer has been disabled. I'm guessing that's because it's historical. The SBR GR38 round for the 50mm KWK 39 and Mark II 14A guns, the weight, muzzle velocity, and velocity drop along the trajectory have been specified, so that obviously is going to change that one. The 47mm MLE 1936 round, so the French one, the velocity drop along the trajectory has also been specified, so they've been screwing around with a bit of ballistics. The Vickers Mark 7, the physically accurate tracks have been added. This is good. Always nice to see more hot tracks. The Type 90, Type 16, Type 74, and Type 10. The elevation angles of the M2 anti-aircraft machine guns have been standardized. Max elevation angle is now 60 degrees. Previous angles varied from 20 to 40, depending on the vehicles. This is really awesome because they all have the same pintle mount on them, so they should all have the same elevation, and now they do. And that means that they're more useful against stuff like helicopters and the like. One of the things to note is I've been playing the Type 74C recently, and I've had a great time in it. My win rate's shocking in it, but my KD is not too bad, and the vehicle itself is always fun. It's just so loud. I really hope they tone down the engine of it. I understand it is realistic, and it sounds awesome being realistic, but just tone it down slightly so it's just on the same level as other vehicles. Otherwise, it's like trying to be stealthy with an elephant. It doesn't work. The aircraft side of things, so the F2G1, the ammo capacity has been increased from 300 to 600 rounds per gun. Okay, so they just doubled the ammo capacity on that thing. That means that its longevity in the air has massively increased. The F100A has, they've added the AN APR-25 radar warning system to it for China. That's pretty nice. Hopefully it comes in the form of a mod to make the stock experience a little bit easier. The Tiger UHT, a bug has been fixed that allowed elements of the targeting device to be visible at the extreme left and right positions. Well, that's good. The Hurricane Mark IIB Trop as well, and the Hurricane Mark IV, the Hellcat, and the Typhoons, all of them, the separate rocket launchers has been added to them, so they're continuing with what they've done with a bunch of different vehicles, where they're basically making it so you can individually fire stuff such as rockets. This is awesome, you know, and also bombs as well. This is really good. It just means that you have more choices with the vehicle. It actually makes certain vehicles way better than before. Stuff such as the Hellcat with its independent bomb drops means that you can get 2 targets instead of 1, and also other vehicles as well. The ME-264, the engine sound has been fixed. I don't know what was wrong with this, but there you go. The AIM-9C Sidewinder, the missile weight has been changed from 88 to 95. The burn time has been changed from 5 to 5.2. So that's pretty cool. Nice to have slight differences there, or more realistic changes, I suppose. The AIM-9J and P Sidewinder, a bug with incorrect values of the max launch load has been fixed for certain presets. The max load has been corrected from 4 to 7G, so those will be more useful, especially in a dogfighting sense when you're pulling hard. The 120 kg bomb M71, the explosive type was corrected from TNT to Comp B, so we'll have to see how that affects it. And then also the AA-20 and the AS-20, the missile speed has been converted to Mach, so not a huge change. It shouldn't change the actual movement of the missiles, and also they got nerfed pretty heavily, the AS-20s, which I'm happy with personally. If only bullpups would get the same fate. When it comes to Naval, you have a bug which was fixed where the Recon aircraft model remained visible in the X-ray view after its launch. So, you know, another bug with the aircraft model stuff, but that's fine. You know, it's a new mechanic. That's generally what happens. A bug with the effect of fire from burning aircraft instantly crossing the battlefield in naval battles has been fixed. That sounds really awkward as a bug. The AI gunners of 20mm guns won't fire at destroyers anymore. Well, that's good, because they basically just give away your position and don't do any damage to destroyers. It would be nice if you could the 20mm could fire at certain ranges, but they would only specifically try and accurately fire at turrets of certain destroyers to try and take them out, or guns. That would be kind of a nice little thing, but as kind of a stop measure, just making them not fire against them, I'm fine with that, because they're not doing any damage anyway, and they're just letting the destroyer know you're there. The parameters of the shells of 114mm 45 guns, Mark 4s and Mark 5s have been changed. So their explosive types have gone from HE rounds, the explosive types of the HE rounds have been changed to RDX and TNT. The weight of the explosives in the HE has changed from 1.22 to 1.81. That's a large change. And the weight of the explosives in the semi-AP has gone from 0.72 to 0.91. So these have been buffed quite a lot, actually. They should do a hell of a lot more damage, especially that HE if it gets through the armor. The parameters of the Mark 7 rocket on the US patrol boats have also been changed. The explosive weight has gone from 1.27 to 0.79, with the rocket weight going from 22.6 to 22.27. So quite a reduction on the explosive weight, so a bit of a nerf to those. Never really found a use for those, apart from kind of scaring the enemy or making nice sounds, so maybe I'll give them a go again. Maybe they can still overpressure stuff like PT boats. And then also, the max brightness on the NVD has been reduced when the illuminating rounds are fired. So pretty much you won't get blinded when the illuminating rounds are fired. Unfortunately, when they added the illuminating rounds to night battles, which was obviously a necessity because of the fact that people couldn't see if they didn't have NVDs, at the same time you basically got flashbanged if one just appeared above your head while you were in NVDs. So it was a constant battle of switching between in NVDs and not in NVDs, and it was just a little bit of a pain. So for now, that is a positive change, because it means that you won't get blinded as badly. I still don't like night battles. They're not fun, and luckily I've been playing at BRs where there aren't any recently, but they're still not an enjoyable experience. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, it is a pleasure doing these videos. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. I'd just like to thank Professor X 1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, BRFC 15, Teddy,
John Ryman, Universe A, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, and then Kyle Kin, Barine, Lafouche, and also Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.